Good afternoon. My name is Odie Hawkins, and once again we're here to give you moments in time. I say we, Zola, Salena-Hawkins, would you join me, please?
I certainly will. Thank you.
Hello?
Hello.
We're not here.
Not right now.
You can ring 3 times if you like. That's 2. No, I'm sorry, 4 times.
Yes.
3. Where are you? Okay, that's the end of it. We don't want to hear from you anymore.
There you go. Very good. So what are we doing
I guess
today?
I cut that off right.
Yes, you did. There you go.
It's called telepathic communication.
Yes, indeed. So, folks,
yeah.
get some libation.
Yeah. To
Thank
you.
To you.
To you.
And to you.
Strong tea, huh?
Ginger beer. He doesn't have beer. Just, I was breathing it, I guess.
My wife is a teetotaler, so
yes, yeah.
that was real. That was a joke. Okay, anyway, what we decided to do today would bring you up to date on something that happened to us on June 19th. We were invited to participate in a Juneteenth celebration, which, as you all know, or maybe you all don't know, maybe I can enlighten you a little bit about what it is about, what Juneteenth is about. And I can read it straight from the program that was given us by the Forever Caring Healthcare Services. Forever Health Caring. Zola, you'll be able to explain in a moment as soon as I give the history of what Juneteenth is for those who may not know. Juneteenth, also known as Freedom Day or Emancipation Day, commemorates the effective end of slavery in the United States. It specifically marks the day, June 19th, 1865, when Union soldiers arrived in Galveston, Texas, to announce that all enslaved people in Texas were free.
Ginger. Yes, okay.
I'm taking this all with a grain of salt. 2.5 years later, after the Emancipation Proclamation, this day is a powerful symbol of liberation and a reminder of the ongoing struggle for racial equality. Okay, that is what the history of it is about, and there's a long history behind that history, but we don't want to get into that.
Google it.
Maybe you could talk to us about a little bit about what the organization is.
Okay, the organization.
The mission statement.
Okay, well, the organization is called Forever Caring. Forever Caring. Just take that those 2 words, and think how they relate to you and how you want to relate to the world. So the organization is called Forever Caring, and they have an adult daycare. Let me correct that. Adult day health care, home health, and hospice services. Their phone numbers are 310-538-5808 or 323-293-7072. And the website is www.forevercaring, as one word, .com. And so they're an equal opportunity provider. Now, their mission statement says, our mission at Forever Caring Healthcare Services is to provide effective delivery of healthcare services to generate positive outcomes in dealing with chronic disease processes, cognitive impairment, post-inoperative and psychological disabilities. Our goal is to provide incomparable quality across the continuum of care by providing options to support the needs of each and every client. And it's really an awesome business.
Okay. That's the history, and that's the mission statement. Now, here's what happened. We were supposed to be there 11 o'clock. We got there at about 10 because there was little traffic, and we got there early. We had spent a previous day,
Monday.
the Monday prior to that, giving a demonstration of what Tai Chi looks like. And I think it was sort of an interesting thing for both sides, because most of the people there didn't know what Tai Chi was or what it looked like. And the activities director, Mrs. Anita Davis, was familiar with it, but she was not into it. In any case, we were invited to come and give a demonstration on the 19th. The unusual thing about the thing that I think Zola and I are doing has to do with adding Afro-Cuban, African percussion to the Tai Chi itself, to the form. Yang 24 is the standard form practiced by most people these days. There's also
108, there's a 54, there's a 13, there's, anyway, a number.
There's a number of
forms,
other.
yeah, different
In addition to
forms.
that, you'll see Yang 24 done in slightly different ways.
Just a little tweaks.
The esoterica of it is practically endless. It's almost as many as there are many people doing it. We stuck to a standard form that was taught to us by Master Tom Tran 20-some odd years ago.
Right.
And we're sticking with that. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Exactly.
Okay, the program began, and what we'd like to do is go down through the program itself. We started off with a welcome by Anita Davis, who is the activities director there.
A lot of energy, girl.
She has a lot of energy, and on the Monday prior, we had seen her give senior citizens, elders, a little uplift by doing
Chair exercise.
jumping jack, sitting at a table.
Yes, yeah.
And clap,
Chair exercises.
Okay, some of the people, I don't know how the oldest one is. It doesn't really matter how old they are. It's how young they can act. And some of them were quite youthful acting. And she managed to pull as much as she could out of them.
And then after they did the chair exercise and what have you, they ended up doing a power walk out in their courtyard, which was nice. The activity for those who could get up and walk on their own.
The menu showed us that there was excellent nutrition, the variety of food. I wish we had a menu, because they were eating things that you'd like to eat in a good restaurant. I could testify to that.
A lot of caring people and a variety of activities. You know,
Yeah.
even they have a room where they help people with Alzheimer's.
In addition to a social worker who was there to do connection for social help and so forth. The history of Juneteenth was given by Novelise Smith, who was the activity coordinator. I don't have the name for the little lady who was her co-speaker, but they laid it out pretty well and basically told the audience what it is we just told you about the history of it and the mission statement.
And Navaline Smith is an author.
In addition to that,
Yes, she is.
Navaline is a very, very interesting woman. I had her in a writing class at the Bureau prior to this particular event, prior to me knowing about her involvement in the Caring Center. And she was able, over a period of time, to give us a very unique point of view about a person who had been involved in a staying action when the city came along and tried to, and actually devastated her whole neighborhood in order to rebuild some condos or something. She called herself the last woman standing, and she stood up to that. I don't know finally what happened or any of the...
But she wrote about it in her book.
Yeah, she told about it. Very interesting woman, very strong. If she becomes interested in something, she puts everything into it.
Amen there.
So that's Navaline was talking about the history of it.
Right.
Now we come to someone who labeled us Tai Chi Congo. The drums I'm playing are called congas. But if you're not a drum enthusiast or percussion enthusiast, I've heard people call conga drums bongos, or djembes, different things. And I'm not going to harp on that because you have to know that the drum is a certain style drum in order to be able to talk about it in an authoritative way. What they did was leave the hard work up to us. We started the program off with yours truly singing a little song in Yoruba that's taught to us by Babalade Olamina, who is a priest of Ifa. And the song goes a little bit like this. Siade fun leba o,
Siade fun leba o,
Febun lesi oluwa,
Fibun lese olwa,
Logomorum kaju baje,
Logomorum
kaju baje, awa amore,
Awo amore,
awa amore, Ireja wa,
Ireja,
Ireja wa, Ire fon wa, Shua le balaye, Shua le balaye. Il est bala mora vibale.
Il est bala mora vibale.
Baba il est ago.
Baba il est ago.
Ago ago.
Ago ago.
Baba il est ago.
Baba il est ago.
Ago ago.
Ago ago.
Ago ago. It seems that ago is a West African word that is used indiscriminately amongst several societies. In Ghana, when you go to someone's front door, you don't knock on the door, you call out, I go, I go. And if the person is there and wants to be bothered with you, they'll call out, Bamin, come in. And so in this particular song, as I understand it, as the been later translated to us, we're asking Baba, Father, God, to let us in, let us in. Baba Ile, I go, let us in the house. Ile is house, I go is let us in, let us in. So we didn't have anybody trying to imitate the Yoruba singing.
No, we didn't.
They just simply looked at us and were very generous with their applause and with their smiles.
Yes.
We don't know what you're talking about, but it sounds okay.
Yes.
Okay, we started. Zola was handling the young 24 part, and I was playing the congas. And I think it worked out pretty well.
We posted it, and we've had some people respond rather well to it. So you can check the post that was posted regarding this event.
Next we
also, I did the Dao.
Oh, yeah. What else didn't you do?
I did the Dao, the broadsword. So I did the 24 and also the Dao. Yeah. So.
I made a little joke. I think it was a little joke suggesting that if there were gentlemen who were getting a little bit out of hand, that their wives might take up the Dao and correct the matter. And I think somebody...
Woman with sword, that's just not...
Okay, there were some ladies who caught on to that. We had a brother come up and speak. He looked like a health specimen to me. 6 foot, 1 inch, 2 inch African-American man who looked like he'd been fasting for a good deal of his life, but retained his physical appearance. He was very physically captivating to me because he looked healthy.
Right, and his message basically was that how much has been taken from us, how much we've lost in the Middle Passage coming here, but also how much we've gained. And so it was a good, uplifting message.
You never need to fear that, oh, we just lost everything because we were enslaved. That's never been true. And to hear the brother talk about it, his name is Ira Blue, to hear him talk about it at length, and it wasn't one of those droning speeches. He was active. He stood up and he told us what he had to tell us. We went from there to, you talk about that.
Okay, the Delta Sigma Theta sorority. Now,
how did they come in, baby? How did they come in?
They came in with their march and everything. They're looking tough and looking all good in their red and white. And very energetic. Okay, like they were definitely glad to be there, and they showed the audience that they were glad to be there, and I can totally appreciate this. This was the Long Beach chapter. They introduced themselves. They told us a little bit about themselves and the organization and why they were Deltas, and they kind of did a song about the other sororities, which I won't mention. Since my mother was Alpha Kappa Alpha, and I was going to be a Zeta.
Do they really have the kind of rivalry?
Sisterhood, sisters, how sisters can be. But in the spirit of love, they were really, really enjoyable to watch and to listen to. Plan to get them.
I think there was 6 or 7 people. And the oldest one, they talked about she had been involved for 35 years or something like that.
For a long time. Yeah, once you're a Delta, you stay a Delta. And they help each other. And I will be contacting them, hopefully, to help a friend that happens to live in Compton, but hopefully they can help her. And, stay in touch. They're good contacts. They're good people.
It was interesting to hear one of the mission statements they brought out is that it was a service society rather than anything else.
Yeah, Christian communities.
They were into servicing their community, and they had it on their chest, we serve, we serve.
And you don't get that too much these days, so deeply appreciated. Deltas.
Miss, she was just simply listed as Miss Carroll. Miss Carroll was escorted to a chair. She had on a red blazer, a green undershirt, and a black pair of trousers. She was dressed in red, black, and green. She was I was 80-ish lady who was involved with home gardening. In about 15 minutes of talking to us about gardening, pulling out various plants out of a vase.
Yeah, the roots she bought several plants like the onions, I think carrots and mint, and she had the roots so that you could plant, you could go up and take a sample home and plant and try to establish your own garden.
She talked for quite a while.
Very knowledgeable.
Some of it I heard. Some of it I didn't hear because she was more involved with talking than she was being heard.
Well, I think she had the speaker at the time. I don't think
they needed a speaker.
Right,
they needed a mic.
So I heard most of it, and I really learned a lot from her.
Yeah. But she was there, and she contributed it. It was if you're 80-some years old, I'm 87. Birthday coming up soon. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to 88. But if you are of a certain age, I think you begin to feel more in touch, more in tune with people from a certain era, because they're the only ones who can relate to the idea of pre-television, pre-instant telephone, pre-instant rice, pre-this, pre-that, pre-that. I think about my grandson our grandson visiting here about a month ago now, having his 15-year-old daughter, 14-year-old daughter come. And we were sitting right here at this table talking to each other. Amarish is old enough now to relate to the idea of films before there was sound.
Right.
And we were talking about talkies. And the young lady is sitting here, finally she just couldn't stand it anymore. And she leaned over and asked, "What are talkies?" And we had to explain that talkies were movies that came along after sound had been added to movies, like dialogue and so forth. And I think it really sort of slipped past her head because she was still trying to grasp. Was there a time when people didn't talk to each other? No.
Right.
They talked to each other, but you couldn't hear them. They had a scroll down at the bottom of the screen.
Right.
In addition to that, aside from everything else, the music was not in the film. The music might be played by a little orchestra right in front of the movie screen. So all this was a revelation to her, in addition to the fact she couldn't quite grasp the idea that her grandfather was not a typist. Well, I mean, I'm a writer. So You don't type? No, not really. You know, I got away.
But yeah,
And sometimes, you know, but if you're around people who come from your era, so to speak, there was a lady, for example, who came up, spoke to me. She was at a walker.
At the event, yeah.
And she said, "Hey, I'm from Gary." I said, "Well, I'm from Chicago." Oh, I'd mentioned I was from Chicago.
Right.
She said, "I'm from Gary."
Oh.
Gary, in relation to Chicago, was like Long Beach is to Compton.
Oh, okay.
You slip across the border.
Yeah, right.
Okay, but Gary is where the Jackson 5 came from.
Okay, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, their father was a stock longshoreman or something. They wanted to get beyond that, so he had 5 talented sons and a daughter, I believe. And we chatted about it, and she was reeling herself in. I thought, well, the era we were relating to and relating to each other had to do with what we understood about where we came from.
Right.
We were talking about Chicago, for example, that people used to call up south because there were so many people from Mississippi and Alabama and Georgia that up south was the proper designation for it. And she's wheeling herself in and saying, "Oh yeah, I remember that. Well, I'll see you later on, baby." You know, because people used to call each other baby. Baby.
And it wasn't sexual or anything.
I'm 87 and she's 83. She, baby?
Yes.
Yeah, baby.
Yes.
Baby.
And that was respectful.
Yeah.
And endearing. Which was
so
nice.
that part was fun. We ended with
Anita Davis, Activity Director, thanking us all for being there. And it's a really lovely facility on El Segundo in LA. It's been there for, I think, 20 years. And I was talking to Pat Forte, and she was told when she was at the A.C. Bilbrough Library, if you needed a place to exercise, they were also a place to contact to possibly go and exercise. I'm not sure about that. But you can check out their website, which again is www.forevercaring, forevercaring.com.
It was a wonderful afternoon, and we would like to thank Forever Caring for caring enough to ask us to come and participate.
And I sent you videos. I sent them the videos, so I only felt comfortable posting the one that Odie and I were in, but I did send them the videos that I took that day, and maybe they will post them on their website or on their Facebook page, if they have a Facebook page. Okay.
That's all we got for this afternoon.
Yes, indeed. Which brings me circling back to one of the reasons we put a package together to emphasize how important Tai Chi is. And while our schedule is too busy to be able to help them do a program at the facility, I suggested that that they have somebody to take the Soma School of Healing Martial Arts Certified Tai Chi program, so that they could have somebody that's familiar with them and who's been working with them go through the program and become a certified Tai Chi instructor. Because for those that are able to get up and walk about, Tai Chi is an excellent form of exercise as promoted by the Harvard School of Medicine.
That's right. That's right.
And so just strongly suggest that you get somebody to take the program with SOMA, School of Healing Martial Arts, Tai Chi certified program, and you can find how to sign up by Googling that. And we look forward to more holidays in the USA.
More holidays in the USA. That's it for this time. We call it Moments in Time. And hopefully you will too, when we come back to you again, selling books written by yours truly.
www.odiehawkins.com.
You talking about me?
Yes, odiehawkins.com. And which you've got this.
You're talking about this?
Yes, this.
Oh my
the
goodness.
The County of Los Angeles, the proclamation that Odie received on May 31st, which says the honoree Lifetime Achievement Celebration Bill Brew Writers Workshop. With sincere congratulations and the best wishes, the Board of Supervisors of the County of Los Angeles does hereby join in your celebration, May 31st, 2025, and signed by Holly J. Mitchell, Supervisor, 2nd District. And I've got to get framed for it and put it up on our wall. And deeply appreciate them taking the time. And again, thanking AC Bill Brew Library, the Friends of the Library, and Bill Brew Writers Workshop for having the program for you.
Thank you, Zola. Thank you. Thank you, Bill Brew. Thank you, Los Angeles.
Odie. All right. So if you like this video, look at other videos, hit the like button, and subscribe, please. And with that, wish you all a happy, prosperous life. Healthy too.